What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today with, well, not the video that I wanted to make. I was planning to make a really harsh critique video actually. Had everything planned, was pumped and ready, and was really in the mood to do this actually. And then I got a message from community manager, well, we've just published patch notes. I was like, okay, well, patch notes, guess they are going to release Talene. So right, let me check this out. Started reading, and then I noticed, well, there's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of really good stuff, a lot of stuff that we discussed in recent times, that we discussed like also in the podcast with Vulcan and everybody. And they really fixed a lot of stuff, so we kind of have to talk about this topic. First of all, how can you get this patch? Well, the best way and the first thing you want to do is you want to go into the game, and there's actually now a pre-download button so that you can download this patch right now, so that it will be available for you to use at the earliest time, which will be after the maintenance tomorrow, July the 3rd. We have the maintenance from 7 to 8 UTC. Afterwards, you can enjoy the content of the patch. And the content of the patch includes a lot of stuff. Starting off with the one thing we already knew, Talene is going to be released. Talene is, of course, the new Celestial hero. Will be pretty cool. Is quite the hyped hero from AFK Arena. There she was quite strong. Maybe she will be strong as well. In here we saw a very promising character teaser, at least. That was pretty cool, even though personally I like the first one more. Stargate Station, there we will of course be able to get her, and the other way to get her, which wasn't confirmed yet, but I reckon you will be able to get one in the guild store, because there Fresto was also available on release for guild coins, and I reckon this will be the same for her. So if you have 30,000 guild coins saved up, you might just be able to get a copy there. But even if you didn't, there is another way for you to get a copy, and that is a new way, something that I'm personally quite hyped about. We asked the community manager as well. We kind of want, as content creators, wanted to ask them to give everybody a copy of Talene at the release. So we asked them that multiple times, and they seem to have listened or decided to do that, well, no matter our request. And what they did was they now introduce a chest to the game. And you get this chest after you cleared 1000 stage 1125, which is the end of the starter story. So not this story, not AFK progress from the season right now. The starter story that we had in the time before the season. If you cleared 1125 in there, then you are eligible to get a chest, or will get a chest in the future as well. And this chest will include every single Celestial or Hypergen hero, so you can choose between them. And it will also include Talene. So if you want, you can now, or you can tomorrow, get this chest and can easily get one copy of Talene or any other Celestial or Hypergen hero that you like. And I think that is pretty cool, and that is a pretty good thing. So if you want, get yourself a Talene. If you need any other hero, well, then you can go for that. But everybody will in theory be able to get a copy of Talene, as long as they've cleared stage 1125, which I think a lot of people actually have, because it's not the seasonal story, it's the starter story. Next thing, more stellar crystals for everybody. Yeah, you heard correctly. They also listened to that, because there was a lot of talk about, well, how difficult it is to get stellar crystals and how long you would need to max a hero. So now they buffed that. First of all, in the guild store, there will be 4 extra stellar crystals that you can buy with diamonds. There are already some, but it will add 4 more to that. Pretty cool. And then on the other one, this is a little bit complicated and people were a bit confused by that. They add stellar crystals to the arena store. First of all, we have the arena store and we have the champion store. The champion store is available if you're a champion in arena, which on my server is pretty easy to keep up with, but on some servers that's really competitive, and for some players, of course, a really tough thing to do, and some have never been champion. In the past, it used to be like, if you're not champion, then you can get those heroes, but you can never get stellar crystals. So there were 0 stellar crystals in the arena store for people who aren't champion. And what they do now is they add 10 stellar crystals basically to the arena store. So you can buy 10 stellar crystals per month in here, because this arena store refreshes monthly. So 10 stellar crystals in there. We don't know the cost of them yet. They didn't write that it will be purchasable with diamonds, so probably be the arena coin, but we don't know the price, so we'll have to see about that. And it will also depend on your rank in arena. So There is the rank in Arena, of course, we can check this out. In Arena, your rewards depend on the rank, and before you reach Champion, there's of course Legendary and Epic and so on. And the further you are in there, the higher you are, the more Stellar Crystals you can purchase, and at Legendary it will be 10. So keep that in mind. Beyond that, they will change the Champion Store a little bit. The Champion Store, the weekly refreshing Champion Store, will no longer offer 5 Stellar Crystals, it will offer 3. Which is a nerf, of course, in a sense, but it will still mean that you get more Stellar Crystals overall. So if you used to be Champion, you usually got 20 Stellar Crystals within 4 weeks, because this would refresh 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. And now you will get 10 Stellar Crystals from here. That is new, so players who weren't Champion got 0, they now get 10. And players who are Champion can now get 10 here, and 4 times 3 Stellar Crystals here, so now they get 22 before they got 20. So it's a small buff for the players that are usually Champion, big buff for everybody that is not usually Champion, so I guess a lot of free-to-play people will profit massively from that. Very, very nice, very good thing, and something that I look forward to a lot actually. So, next thing that I want to look at is a pretty cool thing as well. It is for the guild, and they will add a new guild mode. Which I think is very, very nice. It is called Guild Supremacy, and it was a pretty standard mode actually for idle games. Together with your guild, you will defeat a boss at various difficulties for rewards. So basically a guild boss that we can fight. Something that I'm looking very much forward to, because the other game that I play, Idle Heroes, has that, and it's pretty good. And it's honestly one of the game modes that I like the most. And we will get that Guild Supremacy to guild or regular guild menu, so that will be quite nice. Also, there will be a new Battle Drills map called Spider Wasteland. Will be available in future rounds, they say, so no idea when that is going to be the case. A little bit of a comment here while we maybe watch a fight and do our attempts here. Let's do that. Using Parisa here, and then a little bit of a CC team. Pretty nice. Should one-shot this easily. So let's go. I personally don't like Battle Drills. I think it is a very boring game mode with way too little loot, so honestly I'm hoping they will buff that as well in the future, because I don't think there is a lot of hype around guild content at the moment, just because it doesn't feel rewarding enough, so, and it isn't competitive enough. I could make an entire video about why I don't like Battle Drills, and I think I will do that in the future as well, because it has actually gotten worse within this season. But beyond that, I hope they put some decent rewards into this new Guild Supremacy game mode. If they put the rewards at the level of Battle Drills in there, I think it won't be alright. If it's a permanent game mode, maybe, but it should be at least on the level of Dream Realm if it's permanent. If it's a game mode like Battle Drills that only appears like a few times during a season, it should include way higher rewards and be very, very interesting in terms of that. So we'll look forward to that. Should be still a fairly cool game mode, and I hope we can do a lot of optimization and actually some strategy guides. Looks like we won't be able to defeat those guys actually. My god, they are tanky. But decent amount of damage, so nonetheless, pretty nice. Then my other favorite game mode actually that we have in this game, Doer's Trial. I like Doer's Trial. I'll be honest with you guys, I like Doer's Trial. So Doer's Trial was usually capped at 20, so once you clear 20, we can see it right here. There was no other stage, and I have to say on some of those stages, especially on this tank stage, stage 20 is quite difficult. It's not really easy, even if you have like level above those heroes. It is quite difficult, but we will get 21 to 25, so 5 more stages for every single Doer's Trial. Will be pretty cool, I'm looking forward to this. There will be a wish list feature, so that you can wish for specific charms in Doer's Trial, making it easier to obtain certain desired charms. We were talking, for example, in a past video about Brutus and his ultimate power, his skill power charms. Those are certainly interesting, and in the future you will be able to get them more easily by wishing for them in the wish list. Another thing to keep in mind, we had the Bronco Essence. A Bronco Essence was the essence that usually saw no use. The Bronco Essence, this one, couldn't you use it for anything? This will now be available to unlock any charm that you want. So if there is some charm that you're missing, for example, personally, I'm missing a skill power charm for the middle slot of Brutus, I will be able to unlock that apparently with the Bronco Essence tomorrow after the patch, which makes me pretty hyped and is quite cool. They wrote it quite interesting. They said there is a new use for the Bronco Essence. There was none before, so this is the first time it sees any use, which is quite fun. But yeah, so pretty cool that we are going to see this. The wishlist, however, you should keep in mind, only available after the 22nd stage, which I think is quite interesting. On some of those stages you see pretty low tier clears of those stages, with pretty low tier copies, because in Durastral we see those very high buffs, so in that sense fairly interesting. But I'm looking forward to actually seeing the clears of 25. I assume there will be some guy that clears it with very low tier heroes again, so that will be quite interesting. Very interesting actually. Next but not last, we have some optimizations to campaign. They do some stuff to the starter progress to make it more aligned with the seasonal campaign. We saw the multi-team feature here, they will introduce that to campaign as well. On top of an infinite quest, an infinite amount of stages that you can clear after clearing the first 1125, and can obtain some rewards with that until the season starts, of course. And then they add a feature which I'm kind of split about. It's called auto progress, and auto progress will basically enable you to start it, and then you will it will work like auto battle but in the background, so you can do stuff in game while auto battle basically clears your AFK stages as far as it can go. Which I mean, like, it is probably more comfortable than doing auto clear. On the other hand, it takes away even more gameplay depth from this game mode. Like, this game mode doesn't have a lot of gameplay depth. Either you do it like me and have like one team and then wait until it can clear again, with for this stage probably won't work, or you go in there and then you clear, hit copy, hit battle, and if it's an iron team, then you probably have to pull the enemy closer, but like, it doesn't have a lot of depth anymore. So in that sense it's already quite sad. And I feel like it should be changed. I don't really like this game mode anymore. I feel like it just isn't what it used to be. It just doesn't require any skills. It mostly revolves around you copying the lineups, and well, if you have a lineup like this, you should probably use your iron correctly, which I just didn't, but you probably will if you try to clear the stage. So in that sense, yeah, I don't know if putting it in the background makes it better. I would rather have less stages, or meaningful stages, that we can talk about and where it has an impact to clear them. But this is a whole nother discussion as well, because then we have to talk about resonance, and we will do that in a future video. But right now, that is a difficult thing to do. Oh, an immune opponent, very nice. Beyond that, we can talk about Fresto, because we just have him there. Apparently the damage of Fresto's illusion wasn't displayed in game, and they are going to change that. So essentially Fresto's damage numbers will be higher than we saw before. So if we now see 1.7 million there, 1,783 million, it will be 3.4 billion in that sense. So a damage increase that was already available, so it won't deal more damage, but the damage will be displayed correctly. We will get a new story quest called The Uninvited Guest, and we'll receive a new reputation quest called The Bounty Hunter. It's pretty cool. The Bounty Hunter and reputation quest will probably be not for this, but for... my god, still not used to the symbols. But for clan reputation, I guess. It's a reputation quest after all. Then they have 23 experience optimizations, of which I have a few that we can take a small look at. Some are a bit interesting, but I will keep it short on this one. If you care about those, you can check this out. There are some there's one very weird one that we can talk about. Basically, the game right now recommends charms with vitality for your healers, which doesn't make much sense, because what vitality does, if we check that out, is every point of vitality increases the effectiveness of the units received shields and healing. So the heal that your healer receives from other heroes, and you really want your healer to do more heals. And this is another stat. This is not vitality that we want to buff, but it is healing instead. So they will change that from vitality to healing and giving those charms a bit more use in that sense. Also, they will add the feature to claim missed Primal Lord rewards. So I assume if you were eligible to claim some rewards and missed it, do some countdown, you can now claim them through this feature, which will be pretty cool. Another thing that they will do, and I think is quite interesting as a clan, is the Dream Realm lineups. You will be able to share your Dream Realm lineups with your clan. Or with other players in general. So that I think is pretty cool, because sometimes you just found a cool new lineup, you want to share it with your friends or your clan, and now you will be able to do that. So that is a pretty cool thing. Lastly, you will receive another frame. I don't think we have that in game yet, should be with the update, but there will be a new frame that you can get. It will be called Wild Explorers, and that is something that you will receive once you log in on the PC version after the version update. It says PC version specifically, so I assume we'll have to log in there. And that is about it for this thing. There is also another noble path that we will see. I didn't see the loot for that yet, but might be interesting. There are some honor duel adjustments that you can check out if you want to. I didn't put them in this video, but it is fairly interesting. Maybe like to sum it up, I think they addressed a lot of things. I also think we still have some issues in the game that they will have to iron out, that they will have to fix. And one of the major things that I look at is resonance. I think the impact on the progress and the power that is granted to you by just AFKing in this game is way too high, and often ends up with any effort to clear more progress being in vain, or being or feeling useless, because you know when you're stuck at a stage that if you wait 1 day or when you wait 2 days, that you will be able to clear it. Eventually you will clear any stage by just waiting a pretty short amount of time, really. So you don't really have to improve your lineup. You can try with the same lineup again, and eventually it will just clear the stage. And I think that is one problem. Makes it meaningless if you don't really want to be super competitive. If you want to be super competitive and want to be on top of the leaderboards, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, it makes it feel a little bit meaningless to put a lot of effort into one stage for me. The other thing is that a lot of game modes just have way too little loot. Specifically true for battle drills, I think. Battle drills, I think, it doesn't have enough loot. Should have way more loot. It appears only a few times during the season. For that, it has too little loot. And they think that they have to address. And it's in a lot of game modes where you just don't really feel hyped to play it. You should be happy when battle drills arrive, because it's a new opportunity to try your strategies and to do your best on the game mode. And if you are not hyped for that, then the game mode needs to change. So that is something that we have to look at, and there are a lot of other things too. Maybe we'll make another podcast or something and discuss it. But they are taking steps in the right direction. That is something that I have said in the past. They listen. They listen and they change stuff. So I think we can be very hopeful for the next season, because I think they will learn from this one. They will learn what worked and what didn't work, and over time will improve this game. And I hope by the next season we still have a decent amount of players, but they will have to win players back. They will have to work for that, and that is quite sad. They ran quite a big ad campaign at the beginning, and now they basically have to do that again. But, well, is the consequence of a lot of actions they took, including the low seasonal loot at the beginning. They have to blame themselves for that. It was, to me, felt, well, not obvious in that sense, but if you nerf the loot, players never like that. It's as easy as that. So, with that in mind, what's your opinion on the patch? What's your opinion on the progress? Tell me down in the comments below, and with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.